Welcome to another episode of the Rabioba. Today's guest is no other than Mama Obaritin, who is a university student in her second year studying law with politics.
Thank you very much for having me.
You're very welcome. So today we want to talk about university life. I know if I want to talk about my own experience, it's different. So I'll chip in just to elaborate on certain points or maybe talk about the differences. So I want you to tell me what was your expectations versus reality, because we all have our expectations when you're going to university, young person.
Yeah.
Just like a lot of information, what your friends are saying, what you
Definitely.
read about on the internet and all that. So can you share your experience?
Well, for me, there were a lot of expectations that didn't necessarily match reality in university. I think the first one, the thing I was really anxious about was friends. I think you remember the summer before I went to uni, I was so stressed out. Like, I'm going to make no friends. How do people just talk to each other? Because we grew up in an institution where I've been friends with these girls since I was 11, 12. I've not really been in a setting where I've had to make new friends.
Yes.
So we would all stress about socializing, and therefore we all kind of assumed the expectation that university would be very lonely.
Yeah.
And then around the time, which is why I think TikTok listens to you when you complain, I was getting TikTok feeds telling me that university is a very lonely time for a lot of people, and videos of girls and boys just sitting in their room eating food by themselves. I was like, oh my God.
And some sharing their experiences.
Yeah, and their negative experience.
So no friends.
So I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna make no friends. This is so bad. And I remember they dropped me at my accommodation and then left. I was in my room and I started crying, like, oh my God, how am I gonna make any friends? But then the next day, I made a friend.
But then that was the most upsetting thing. I was looking at you.
I was so annoyed because I wasted all my time
that
crying about
she's
this.
not going to make friends. I'm like, why would you not make friends? Knowing that you are a very sociable person, you're a social butterfly, so why would you not make friends?
No,
that was just my question.
I was so annoyed at myself the whole summer. I was stressed out about it, and like literally the second day, I made a friend already. And then my flatmates started to come in, and I got really close with one of my flatmates too. And I have different circles of friends. I have my friends from my sports, friends from my societies, friends from my classes. So like just a kind of different circle of different friends. So I don't struggle with friendship.
That's actually a thing anyway, that people go and they feel so lonely, feeling so left out.
Yeah, like you won't be able to, like, I remember advice on TikTok, they were saying you really need to push yourself out there to make friends in uni. You have to go out your comfort zone. And honestly, you don't have to do that much. Like, everyone's in the same boat as you. And that's one thing I didn't realize until I was there. Everybody's anxious about it. Everybody wants to make friends.
And everybody's eger to make, you just
exactly.
mentioned it. So it was just like saying hi, and then somebody will just jump back and say hi back to you.
I didn't even initiate a lot of the conversations.
Because I think another thing that you were thinking, or everybody else is thinking, that when you go to a new school, you meet people, they've already have their friendship groups and all that. So to penetrate into a friendship groups is always a difficult thing. But meanwhile, in a university, even if you have your friends in secondary school, you're going the same university, they want to make new friends as well. So everyone's
wanting to do that, 100%. And then I think what scared me with the friendship thing is that you told me in lectures, they're like these big rooms, because we're used to classrooms, right? And the school that I went to, they have small class sizes. So we had about 15 to 20 people in a class. To my mom telling me that now we have 100, 200 people in a lecture. I'm like, what the hell? So how am I gonna? I thought that's how I'd make friends, sitting next to someone and having a conversation. But you don't really make friends in your lectures. I would say more like,
no, the lectures is a case of
you just sit down,
mind your business.
Yeah. By the time you make your friends, you go with them.
Yeah.
But it's mainly at tutorials, your workshops, your seminars. That's where you.
And so many other social activities.
Yeah, and
happen in uni.
Definitely.
So that was your number one.
Yeah.
Expectation that does not match the reality when you get there. Making friends.
Yeah, definitely.
So any other thing?
My second one was academics. Like, I think a lot of people hyped up, university is going to be so hard. Like, it is hard. I'm not, like, trying to belittle. It is, like, I cry a lot. It's hard. But also, it's so doable. Like, you just have to...
It's definitely doable. Like, it's just like leaving from S5 to S6.
The jump was crazy, but
the step is just as you're moving to the next step, you are more is expected.
Yeah.
But then you are equal to the task.
Exactly. And I think that
so yeah.
when people spoke about law as well, like, oh my God, it's so hard. I always say, like,
reading.
Yeah, like, it's not hard, because for you to be able to be given that admission, they already believe that you're capable of rising to the challenge.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of organization, and you don't have your parents telling you, get up and read, get up and do this. Like, you now need to actually care. So I think that was the kind of main anxiety that I have with, like, oh, this is going to be almost impossible. But everything is very much, like, if I don't do well at something, it's 90% of the time, it's because I did it last minute, or I didn't care enough. Like, I know when I submit an assessment, I know exactly how, like, I'll submit and be like, this is not going to be, and you know that the more effort, it's not like magic or anything. It's the more effort you do, the better your results will be. So when I kind of clocked that, and I was like, oh, this isn't actually too bad. Like, it is very doable. It's very possible. Second year, even the jump now to second years, it's crazy. But again, it's not like I don't understand what I'm doing. I understand it,
because it's the next level. Next level is always harder.
Definitely.
Yes.
So that's kind of like my take. What was that like for you, though? Because you were,
for me, being a mature student is totally different, and also going to uni from home is another thing. So a lot of factors play into play.
But you still did.
I still did. With lots of friends.
That's the thing with uni. You still will.
I think you young people, friendship is just so much in your forefront.
I think I was going to a place where I don't know anyone in Manchester. When I was leaving, I don't have any family member in Manchester. I know no one there. So it was a huge city. To go from little tiny like Aberdeen in Scotland to Manchester was a crazy move. Secondly, I don't have my family there. So, like, it was like a situation where, oh my God, unless I want to be by myself every single day, I need to, like, actually socialize. Get to know people.
But yeah, like I said, mine it was just like the academic part, and I knew I have to step up my game. The college was like a lot of you pass, you fail, you redo them again. So I know I didn't want that in uni. And I've got kids, and that's the last thing I want, to be repeating assessment and stuff like that. So I put in 110% in everything I was doing, and it was doable. But then every other thing just added to it, like making friends and all that. But I was having a part-time job, having a house to maintain. My kids were younger. A lot of all those factors put in place. So I just want to get to uni, get my attend lectures, and out.
Was your degree full-time?
It was a full-time.
Wow. Guys, I don't know how. I have some friends who work while studying. I thankfully don't have to work while studying, but I can't imagine people who do that. Like,
it's still doable. It's
not.
Now, it's
with
because
the hours that
if you don't have any choice, you would have learned to do that.
I'm in uni, like, at least
all the
3
time
times
you spend
a week.
Partying. So talk about the partying part.
You
wanted to skip that. She wanted to skip the partying part.
I have enjoyed my social life in life.
Yes.
That I can say with full confidence. Like, obviously you have the night outs that you have with friends.
It's quite a vibrant city though.
Very vibrant and so sociable.
The nightlife is great.
The diversity. Nightlife is amazing. The diversity is what hit me with Manchester. I don't know. I don't think I researched much into the city before going.
I don't think so.
But I was just more like about the uni, and I was like, oh, this is a very good uni. It's prestigious. It's Russell Group. It's this and that. So that's why I kind of applied to it. That was my main. I didn't think about the city itself.
Yeah.
And when I went there, to see so many Black people was so amazing, because I grew up with literally no Black friends.
Yeah.
And it was very nice to be able to finally be with girls that looked like me, that acted like me, or understood me a little bit better.
Yeah.
So now I'll be like, oh, we're gonna go get our hair done, or having friends that will take my braids out for me. I've never got to experience that. They call this on TikTok. They call it black teenagehood or Black childhood. I never got to experience that because I never had like a Black female friend growing up. So it was really nice in that sense. And you have like flat parties that you do, and then you have nights out, you have like dinners. Like, oh my God, first semester of first year, the amount of money I spent was ridiculous. I don't know who I thought I was. I thought I was a billionaire, and I'm not. So that was horrendous, like genuinely horrendous. But I think now it's taught me to manage my finances a little bit better.
You get
still not there yet, because I still call them for a little bit more money, but this semester, I've promised her my finances will be better. The thing is, life is for enjoyment, guys. Life is for enjoyment.
Enjoyment has limitation. It's just that you don't want to put limit. It has to be limited.
But like, even in my head, everything I'm doing is actually necessity. Like, I know everyone's like, oh, you need to cut down. No, it is.
It's not. Eyelashes are not necessary.
Lashes are a necessity. Do you want me to be depressed? Do you want me to be depressed?
Okay, let's get away from that. You mentioned about when you were researching the uni you wanted to go to, you were looking for a Russell Group University. Because I didn't even know what was a Russell Group University. Yeah. So until you got the admission, and okay, when I was trying to get you to accept your first offer, and you were like, no, it's not a Russell Group University. I want to wait until I get an offer from a Russell Group University. So what is Russell Group University? And do you think being in a Russell Group University has a way of giving you more chances in your career life? Or what is it? What is it about this Russell Group University?
So firstly, Russell Group Universities, I think they're basically the 25 top universities in the UK. And they have a lot of funding, and it's their name, right? The name of the university. And usually the kind of consensus is that if you go to a Russell Group University, when you're applying for jobs, employers will look at that and be like, oh, this is a really good university you've gone through. Like, for example, it's like Oxford. Anyone who graduated from Oxford, it's like, oh, Oxford, Cambridge, LSE, UCL, University of Manchester. These are all like considered Russell Group universities. So I didn't really clock it until my teacher in secondary school, she told me, she said, if you don't get into Russell Group University, I'd be very disappointed.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh my God, what is this Russell Group thing? So in terms of whether I think it affects you afterwards, from what I've seen from people I've talked to, it depends on your course. For example, if you're doing medicine, it really doesn't matter where you go. Like doctors, we're in need of doctors.
Of course,
you're taught the same thing in all the universities. Like, it doesn't matter. Same with nurses. There's certain fields where it doesn't matter what university you go to, you will be pretty much guaranteed a job. Like, our NHS needs doctors, nurses, carers, etc.
100%, yeah.
But in fields like law, where it's kind of overly saturated, and lawyers don't graduate early, right?
Yeah.
So
it's not just a
very small amount of people are selected after graduation. Yeah. So when you have a Russell Group name, it does add to it. And that's what I've been told for a lot.
Right.
They've done a lot better. Now they're doing a lot better with it. But before, it used to be very like Russell Group, or even just only Oxbridge. That's only Oxford or Cambridge students. Yeah. So now they're trying to branch out. And it doesn't mean that if you don't go to a Russell Group uni, you won't get a job or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think that was something
courses, I keep telling you. I'm like, what is this Russell Group all about?
Yeah, it just makes your life a little easier.
Yeah.
Which is quite nice. Nice little benefit.
Okay, that's very good information that you share.
Yes.
Okay, guys, with that, we come to the end of today's topic, and I will see you soon again. Have a lovely day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.